Hello, folks. So this is part 6 of the Learning Rust, series. This is part of the 100 days of like Rust. So I'm gonna actually check out the next exercise for which actually I have to. So this the current exercise is actually all good. I have to remove this. I'm not done, and then we will see the next exercise run and compile and all that. Okay, so the compilation itself failed, so of course it wouldn't run. So it says this failed, cannot assign twice to immutable variable x. There is also an error code. And so let's go look at this code. Let's go look at this. Let's close this up. So this is where it is. And it says first assignment to x is this, line 7. Awesome. Imagine this, right? This is all super pretty cool. Like they show the line number to you and like it's pretty cool that they show all of this, like line number 7, line number 8, like how neat this is, like, and they show this is all in the terminal UI. So it's pretty cool that they've done it all in like here, so that you can like understand what's going on and like look at this, right? How much clarity there is, like to highlight this. This is a normal terminal UI. They have coloring, like all this red color, bold, sorry, not bold, bold thing, and then here it's bold, and then they have aromas to show the stuff, and then they have underline to actually underline x, and then help and whatnot, right? All the formatting, like, I think it's pretty cool. Okay, coming back. So first assignment to x in line number 7. So this is that one. So it's the value is 3, and consider making this binding mutable. So we call this as a variable binding, right? I mean, I have to go understand why they call it as a binding, and like they bind a value or they bind a value to a variable, or I don't know what it is. Something to check out. They declare a variable, like the name of the variable is this, and this is a variable and things like that. But yeah, so binding, so make this binding mutable. So I guess you're binding a value to a variable. Probably that's why it's called a variable binding. So something to explore more. So they say mute x, right? So we will check this out. Maybe instead of let, we will make it as mute. And it says, gives an error over here. Syntax error, expected expression. Okay. Okay. So also you can see can have a mutable reference. So mute, let mute. Okay. So here you can see a mutable reference cannot be taken to a non-mutable reference. Right. Interesting stuff. So you can go read this out. I'm not going to read this yet because these are stuff I'm yet to understand. Vectors, assertions. I mean, I know assertions, assert equals and all that, or pointers in general in like other languages, but I don't know in Rust how it works, or push pop or whatever, right? So I'm going to go ahead and like check out the, I'm going to leave this at let. Missing keyword. Oh, so here you can see actually it mentioning mute, and it runs and it says missing keyword let mute. So I don't think you have to type let mute again. Instead, it's more like let mute. So they meant replace mute with let mute. But I still won't actually look up the error code that they gave. So I'm going to go ahead and like copy this and then go ahead and check it out. So it says an immutable variable was reassigned. Okay, so I mean, programming, if you've learned other languages, you'll notice like if they had immutable variables, constants and things like that, basically it's a constant. Like you cannot mutate it. It's immutable. Mutate it or change it. So here they say let x equal to 3. So apparently, looks like if you say let x equal to 3, it's still like immutable. Like by default, variables in Rust are immutable. Awesome. So to fix this error, add the keyword mute after the keyword let. So after let, we have to say mute when declaring the variable. So we have to declare it as let, and then say it's a mutable variable by saying mute, and then say x equal to 3. So that's what we're doing over here. So let mute x equal to 3, and everything works. Awesome. So, and you can also clearly see over here, don't change this line. So these people are saying, it said you can't reassign. So someone might as well go ahead and like remove that line, and then it will still pass. Of course, it will pass. Like for example, remove this. This is gonna fail, right? And then someone could go and change this line because they're saying you cannot assign twice to the immutable variable. Cannot assign twice to immutable variable, right? So you go ahead and like remove this line and it'll still work, and it'll show the value of x twice. That's all. That doesn't make sense. That's why these people say don't change this line, don't do anything here. Can you do let again over here? Interesting. You can do. You can redefine that variable. Interesting. Can you redefine it with a different I64? Can you redefine it with a different type? Yes, you can. Probably that's why they don't want you to change any of this over here. Something to check out later, check out and explore later. So don't change this line. Instead, you have to change only this line. And you can also notice this whole hint by checking this out. Hint or like Rusling's variables for hint. So this, I should go to the Rusling's directory. So let me do that. Rusling's and in Rust, variable bindings are immutable. I'm trying to reassign a different value to X. There's a keyword we can use to make a variable binding mutable instead. That's all they say. It's a hint. It's not the exact answer. So the keyword is basically mute or mutate. Basically, mute is a short form, and that's the keyword. Mutate is the word we're looking for. And yeah, I mean, don't change this line. And I think that's all. Like, you just have to put let mute and you're good to go. So it passes, right? Now an interesting thing that I noticed was this, right? When I put let, look at this X, how this is shown in my ID, and this is an error, yeah. And it shows like this is 32-bit, this is 32-bit, I32 and all that, this is I32 and all that, right? Now, if I put mute, this passes, yep. There is an extra underline over here on the mute, like on the X, right? So the ID actually shows you that this variable is a mutable variable by showing you a visual difference, by saying, hey, X is mutable, like you can mutate it. So it's visually showing you that by putting an underline underscore, like under the, X, like if I say let Y equal to 0 or something, you can see Y is not having any issues, like, or having any, like say underline, not issues, underline. But if I say let mute Y, Y is going to get an underline. Can you see that over here? Interesting, right? So, and every instance of Y will get that, like every instance of Y will get this underline. So if I remove this, you get no underlines over here, like no underline under Y. And then you put Y, like put mutate for Y, and you see underline, right? So that's an interesting observation I had. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like the ID, the Rust analyzer is doing a pretty great job at like helping you understand which variables are mutable and which are not mutable by putting an underline under it and saying, hey, this is mutable. I believe this is Rust analyzer's thing and not like some Visual Studio. Visual Studio code is like, by default, it comes with only basic support for some languages. So for Rust, this is the Rust analyzer. Anyway, so that's all I had for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.